completely got the first down. Quitting inside the 45. Fighting Lions all the way down to the 42-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley, the battering ram, has a Raider first down. Just then inside the line, 30 play action bootleg. Gannon's got room to go, 25-20. And he steps out of bounds. The Raiders first down on the 15-yard line. Touchdown Raiders. Randy Jordan blocked it. It's a touchdown for the Raiders. Randy Jordan does it again.
Well, hello everybody. How you doing? Captain Jack here. We are broadcasting live on both YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and I'm amazed at the Twitter following that we had for the promo that we had today, and hopefully that will continue. If you are on Twitter, unfortunately, I can't monitor your input, but please continue to watch. If you have any input and you wish to have me read it, then please come over to YouTube. The YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/c/Captain Jack Rackham Levy. Again, I am monitoring folks on Facebook. Let me give some of the call outs here. I missed some of the other folks that are there on Facebook. I'm going to try to get as many as I can see. Mike O'Neill, is it Smilone? Pinella? Smilone. I'm sorry I can't pronounce that. Raul Rodriguez, Jimmy Fulbright, G. Mike's in the house, Chris Lentz, Lloyd Wheeler. Lloyd Wheeler, good to see you, brother. Lloyd Wheeler of the Dallas Cowboys, good to see you as well, sir. Ed Winchell, who is both on Facebook as well as YouTube. And he did say, yes, go to YouTube. It's easier to read the comments. Neil Iguchi, Josie Carrillo, Hector Figueroa. Man, why is it not going? Oh, there it is. Okay. Jimmy Fulbright, Aaron Cortez, JD. Good to see you, brother. Sup to you as well. And a hello from Lloyd Wheeler and Richard Angeles. And Chris Lentz again popping in on Facebook. Again, for best views, best audio, video, please head on over to YouTube. And we'll go on over to YouTube, and I might be missing some of the folks that are on there. Vicky is here. Thank you there, sweetheart. Stumbling Upward with the startling and I would say thought-provoking announcement saying that Nathan Peterman is going to win the starting position. I like that. It's bold. And hopefully you'll call in tonight. I want to know why, because that's awesome. That's an awesome thought. I want to know why you think that. And again, Vicky and Ed and Becky Gutzler. Arr, y'all. Thanks to see you as well. Jerry Lopez, my boy from down South Florida. Thanks for coming in tonight. And Ed Winchell again. And let's see what else we got. I'm at the very bottom. There we go. Wow. Lots of things. Boy, I hit an arrow and it just goes nuts. Again, Vicky, Ed, Jerry White, thank you there as well. Logan Moore, who else is here? Mike Sarah, and Claire Carey, thank you there. Thank you for that. That's a new name. Thank you for joining us here over here on YouTube. Thank you there, Miss Claire Carey or Mr. Claire Carey. And Mike said, put the ganja. That's probably directed at Stumbling Upward. And Matt Marinovich. Again, if you are new to the show, thank you for coming to join us. I will try to keep up with the announcements as I can. Cher Ellison is over there on Facebook. And Cher's quite busy, and I appreciate you being here, Cher. And Jack Varela is over there as well. Again, if you are a Raider fan, let me say this first. If you are a Raider fan and you wish to be a participant in the prizes that we have here on the show, then again, please head over to YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and once you subscribe, make sure that your published is public, or your subscription is public. There we go. Because again, when I do the prize giveaways, we'll do the next one at 850 participants, which I believe is about 100 away. Okay. Can you play? Sure, you can play there, Claire. Sharon, thank you there, Logan. Sharon is caring. I like that, Logan. And Jared is here, our Steeler fan. And Jared is our big participant. Thank you there, Cher, for sharing it up. I appreciate that. Deborah Farrell, thanks for coming in as well. And it wouldn't be a show without Jared. So again, if you're a Raider fan and you wish to be involved in the prizes, okay, make sure you're a subscriber to YouTube. And we'll get that done and out of the way. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is, before I open the phone lines, is I'm going to run an interview that I had today with Bill Williamson. And it's about 20 minutes long, and it's really informative. And I want to make sure that gets pushed out first. And because Bill has some good insight, if you don't know, Bill Williamson is a very well-respected writer for the Raiders. He has his feed at the very end. So again, sit back. We're going to run that, and again, it's my phone interview with Bill Williamson here for all y'all, and we'll do that right now and enjoy it. We'll see you in about 20 minutes. It's informative. Keep up with it, and we'll be right back as soon as it's done. Mr. Williamson, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Captain Jack, how you doing, man?
I am fine. I'm very happy to have you join us here on our program, and wanted to give you my significant and special thanks for joining me. It's always great when a member of the quote-unquote real media gets a chance to join everybody here. And I always like to say, for folks that think that they know what teams should do, there are 32 general managers and 32 head coaches. So those 64 people are the ones that normally know what's going on, but even they get a chance to sometimes, screw it up. But we really won't know until a few years are down the road. But having said that, sir, looking at the draft that the Raiders had this past not quite a week ago, what were your initial take on what the Raiders did and how they improved their team?
Yeah, you're exactly right. We won't know for a while. And there's some teams are going to do good, some teams will be doing bad. That's just the way it is. Some of these highly rated players are going to be bust. It's just, that's the way it is every year. The Raiders feel good about their draft. All 32 teams feel good about their draft. They're better at that than I am. So I'm going to, it's hard for me to slam any picks. Well, some are kind of goofy around the league year in, year out. But it's hard to sit here and say, oh, this guy's going to be terrible or this guy's going to be great. Just going to have to kind of take their word for it and see what happens. Overall, I thought they were pretty good. I think they had a plan. I think it was very interesting that if you would have asked John Gruden and Mike Mayock Thursday afternoon to really map out what you want to do in this draft, I think they came really, really close to it. I think pretty much everybody that they drafted are the guys that they hoped to draft at those spots. You look at it, obviously they wanted to draft Ruggs. He was the first receiver taken. He was the guy. He was number one receiver on their board. They announced that by taking him. You go to Lynn Bowden. You go to Edwards. You go to Muse, and then they trade up for Simpson. So they're a little surprised about Simpson. And then they took Robinson, who fell. So I think those first 5 picks were exactly what they wanted to do. So that means, maybe they reached at a few spots. Maybe they reached at Arnett at 19. Maybe they reached at Muse in the 3rd round. But if those are the guys that they wanted, let's see what happens. Same with Pharrell last year. He was the guy they wanted at 40. They got. So they're going to have to live with these decisions and see if they work out. They think they're going to work out. So we'll see.
Yeah, I tell people, especially with the Arnett pick, I said, hey, the Raiders did not have a pick in the second round. And if you look at what Arnett was projected at, and depending upon the source, he was rated at either late first through early third. So if the Raiders are using their second round pick, and the gentleman is there, and that's who they wanted, that's who they targeted, so he is their de facto second round pick, and people keep grilling the Raiders for reaching. And I say, well, if that's the guy that they wanted, and or if they couldn't find a trade partner, they went ahead, they pulled the trigger, they got the guy they wanted because they need a corner opposite of Mullen. And personally, I think that Isaiah Johnson's going to be that guy coming into camp. But if you have somebody like Arnett who rated very highly in all of his days at Ohio State, playing opposite the number one corner in the draft, you got a gem in Arnett. You got him in what would have been the Raiders' second pick. So, yeah, he's a first-round pick. He makes more money, but you also get an extra year of contract with him. So I think the Raiders did rather well in that respect.
Well, I don't know about second-round picks, Captain. He was the 19th pick. He was their first-round pick. His compensation was back. It is what it is. Again, maybe he was overdrafted, but who cares if they want him? At that point, after the first two cornerbacks, it's all flavors. It's what you like. It's ice cream flavors for the teams. And, some guys may have had him number 3. Some guys may have had him number 8. Well, the Raiders had him where they had him, and they took him. So they feel good about it. So that's what it's all about. Now he's in their program, and it's up to them to make him a really good NFL player, and they think he will be.
Yeah, I must not. You said what I wanted to say a lot better than I did, Bill. So again, I apologize for mixing my words. So yeah, it doesn't matter where they draft him. And actually, like I said, it works out that they get an extra year for contracts on him. He is a first round pick. He was the person they wanted, and they took him. They didn't have any trade partners, so they took the guy they wanted. And if you're going to have a really good corner on your team and he's there. But let's actually talk about the other corner as well, Amick Robertson, who was a very hands-on guy, and I think that will be a really good player to watch in the fact that he's going to come in and he's slotted to be a nickel corner, but don't tell him that. He's going to try for that number 1 spot straight off from Jump Street.
Yeah, I mean, pound for pound, he's kind of my favorite draft pick of the Raiders. I think they got a really good deal on him. He slipped down the draft. This is a kid out of high school who had a chance to go to LSU but had a serious knee injury, so he goes to Louisiana Tech, a smaller school. Coming out of Louisiana Tech, he has a groin injury and misses the combine. So he's had bad luck with injuries. So it kind of took him away from a bigger school, and it took him away from a better draft slot. But I think this is a kid that's 5'8", but he thinks he's 6'3". He's got a lot of aggression. He wants to be there. I think there's gonna be some exciting days back in that secondary with Abram, Arnett, and Robertson being back there, having a lot of confidence, flying around, and being a lot of swagger. And when things are going to be going good, they're going to be talking a lot, and they're going to be getting that home stadium fired up. And when things go bad, they're just going to go, maybe throw their helmet a little bit, take a breather, and get back out in the field and try to win. So I think there's going to be a lot of alpha dog back in that Raiders secondary for the next several years.
Well, it's a good thing that like you were talking about all the key words. You were talking swagger. You were talking, personality. I mean, we haven't had confidence. Yeah, and good confidence. We haven't had the Soul Patrol in quite some time, so it's something that maybe we'll see in the years to come. And I'm just saying that maybe, just maybe, this is the beginnings of obviously a better secondary for the Raiders with all those people that we have in store. I mean, we lost Worley to the Cowboys, but if I always say if you wanna keep a guy, you keep him no matter what. So they had their plans in place, and these are the guys that we are going to be looking at to make that secondary a lot better in the future, like you said.
Yep, now into the future. And Worley was a guy, I mean, the writing was on the wall. If they wanted him, like you said, they would have kept him. And, the draft came, and they probably told him, hey, we'll get back to you after the draft. They drafted two guys in his position in the first 4 rounds. And he left. So I think that's fine. I think the key is to get these guys seasoned and get them ready to go. I think a guy like Joyner, who signed as a safety at pretty good money, but playing nickel cornerback, I think, Robertson, if Robertson plays well as a rookie, we could see Joyner maybe getting cut next year. His dead money is a lot smaller than what it is this year. Let's see. The Raiders over the years, the last 10 years, or however you want to say it, have had a big dearth at talent at cornerback, secondary, really, and receiver. I think this draft is an attempt to finally remedy that, and let's see if it happens.
I'd like to ask, while we're talking about the guys behind the line, and you mentioned it, we've had some issues back there in the secondary, and also at linebacker, and so the Raiders went out as well. They did well in free agency. They picked up Littleton and Kwiatkowski that are going to be dead-on starters in their linebacker core, and then they also went and addressed, even in the linebacker core, linebacker/safety. They have two guys that they can throw in there that can be, the hands-on guys that do the coverage, as well as either deep or in that middle. And that is the draft pick that they got with Tanner Muse with Clemson, along with I think it's Javon Smith out of Las Vegas. What do you know about those guys as well, Bill?
Well, look at Tanner Muse is a guy that some people around the league think was maybe overdrafted. A little surprised he went early, went in the 3rd round. Mike Mayock has said a couple of times he's going to be a special teams guy, and then maybe work into a outside linebacker spot. Maybe even a middle. I think it was middle and Mike in weak side. But that's going to take a little while. We'll see. But he's a guy who's playing at the biggest stage in college football. I think he's going to bring a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. He might be able to be one of those great special teams players. But we'll see as far as linebacker goes. And as far as Javon White goes, and if he's interesting, he's from Oakland, and he went and played at college at UNLV. So he's got the Raiders, past and future covered. NFL Network had him rated as the 18th best undrafted free agent linebacker. So, I mean, that's, he's good. Maybe practice squad. We'll see. I think it'd be kind of unfair to everybody to say, well, this guy's going to definitely make the roster. We'll see, but I mean, he's a project. We'll just see how these guys come along. But I would say Muse is going to be on the team for sure.
Yeah, I apologize. I keep saying Smith. I want to say White, but I keep saying Smith.
I screw up names all the time. Don't worry about it.
Well, at least I had the Javon right and Las Vegas.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I had the Javon and I had the UNLV Running Rebel. So again, great products there. Now in the wide receiver core, not only do we get the fastest. I'm sure Mr. Al Davis was smiling upon that. In the drafts of old, whoever had the fastest 40 was going to be on the Raiders, okay? And it was something along those lines. But not only do we get a kid that has the fastest 40, but actually an athlete who catches the ball, that can take the ball and run. I mean, I don't know, Bill, I don't know if you remember the early days of Cliff Branch. And may Cliff rest in peace, the great receiver that he is. But in the early days, Cliff Branch could not catch, and it took a little bit of working with Cliff for him to be the stalwart that he is. Henry Ruggs right now had, I want to say, the least amount of drops in his time at Alabama, maybe not percentage-wise, but was a standout player at Alabama and was just going to be there and catch everything in sight. I think we got the best receiver that is ready for the NFL in Henry Ruggs III.
Well, I mean, the Raiders think so, but they took him over, took him as the first receiver taken, so they certainly do feel that way. I think Ruggs is a guy who, like you said, is the fastest receiver coming into the draft. A lot of those guys have problems here with Big. They drafted him number 7. He wasn't a great pure receiver. He's still in the league, being a special teams guy, but not a great pure receiver. But what I like about Ruggs is that they can move him around. He is a competitor. He's a kind of character guy. Like you said, no drops. So I think there's going to be a real role for him. If we see in 3 years that his highest total of catches in the next 3 years is 60 catches, some people might say, well, you know what? That's not great for the number 12 pick. But in his role, I don't like the. I don't want to say I didn't like. I was nervous about the pick when it was taken because of those 3 guys. Lamb, Judy, and Ruggs. I thought that he was the least sure thing of becoming the number 1. But when they took Bowden and they took Edwards the next night, you could see what their plan was. They're looking to get a rotation of receivers, explosive, dynamic players to do anything they want in the playbook, and they're going to adapt to any defense. So they have that plan. So that's why I started to like the Rhodes pick better because there's less pressure on him to be a true number 1. Now he can do what he does, do a bunch of slants, come in, maybe take a breather, come in, try to get a big play, and be part of a really good, diverse offense. So I think that's their plan, and you can't argue that.
Yeah, I tell you one thing, and I'm biased again. I'm an SEC guy. I'm a Gator. And when you take 3 receivers out of the SEC, the Ruggs being there from Alabama, Bowden, who I saw just obliterate my Gators several different times, and then Edwards, who I saw a couple times as a South Carolina boy, just go up, stretch, high point, get those tough catches. I'm telling you, for folks that don't know the SEC. The Raiders did the best of all the people that I can think of. I definitely like Ruggs over Judy. I think obviously the Cowboys got a really good receiver in CeeDee Lamb. But I like you said, I'm liking the fact that with Ruggs, with Edwards, with Bowden, and also even picking up Mariner from Utah, who was Love's best receiver, that number 1 quarterback that the Packers are counting on. Hint to Aaron Rodgers. He got a good target there. We really definitely solidified ourselves in what we did this draft.
Yeah, I mean, I'm paper now. I think these guys come out and develop, and we'll see. Receivers are really hard position to come in and make a big change as a rookie. So we'll see. But I think for the future, the Raiders are potentially in really good shape with these guys, and they love these guys, and that's what's most important.
Now, I think we went over all of the players. I think the last guy we have to go over is the really tank of a guard out of Clemson, and we needed that other offensive lineman. Richie Incognito is getting long in the tooth. Gabe Jackson right now is still there. But, obviously he's on the trading block, so whether he stays there or not is anybody's question. Denzel Good was re-signed and is projected, if you lose Gabe, probably to take that right guard spot. But, again, you're going to need somebody to come in there. And you signed Cush, you re-signed Devy, but you have the kid out of Clemson that is a mauler, that is a big guy for the middle. I really like that pick. What's your take on that there, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, another Clemson guy, high character guy, knows how to win. kind of a road grader type, kind of replacing Dave Jackson, basically. I mean, look, we're going to find it out in the next month if Dave Jackson's going to be a Raider or not. $9.6 million could come off the books. He's either going to be cut or he's going to be kept. I'm not predicting anything here, but I'd be surprised if he's kept just because of the cap number, the fact that they've tried to trade him, and the fact that they re-signed 2 guards, brought in another Eric Kush, and traded up to draft a guy in the 4th round. So the writing is on the wall. So I think Simpson will be given a chance to come in and compete. Maybe start his 2nd season.
Okay, well, I really appreciate you being here, Bill. Now, again, it is. Let me look at my clock here. It's the 30th of April. Okay, first off, if we have a season, and I hate saying that with a big if, but if we have a season, have the Raiders improved enough to be a playoff threat to at least make the dance? Now, I quantify this, and I keep reminding people that the Raiders, even though they were 7-9 on the books, they were in reality 9-7, with the NFL coming out twice saying, "Hey, we screwed up in the Jacksonville game, and we screwed up the last game in Denver. Mea culpa. Sorry about that." So you flip those two, and you get another win somewhere else. Maybe if Terrell Williams gets that catch against the Texans, we're talking about a 10-6 Raiders team, all for naught. But with the additions that they have, can you, with not rose-colored glasses, but can you really see the Raiders knocking on the door and being a playoff threat this year and even into the following year?
Well, they better be. I mean, it's John Gruden's 3rd year. They spent a lot of money. They love their draft. It's time to make a move. There's 7 teams in the playoff this year. That's a big thing too. So yeah, you get a little. I think it's time to jump into that 9-10 win range, like you said.
Well, Bill, I really appreciate you being here, sir, and it's my pleasure. Anytime that, and I know that you got so much to do, so anytime that you just want to call in and shoot your info to all of us here, we definitely really appreciate it. And don't hang up yet, but thank you for being on our show, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And folks, that was Mr. Bill Williamson, a great sports writer, very knowledgeable about the Raiders. If you want to know anything, make sure you get it from the good sources. And Mr. Williamson, before you go, again, which publication are you presently putting your knowledge forward to make sure that the Raider Nation gets their gouge from a good source?
Okay, I work at ASU Nation Silver and Black Pride, and hopefully be the rest of my career and do a podcast, and so that's what you told me. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, definitely look up Mr. Bill Williamson, folks. Thanks again, and again, thank you there, sir.
Thank you. Have a great week.
All right, don't hang up there yet, there, Bill. I'm gonna do the cut when I get to premiere, but I appreciate you being on, sir, and I'm gonna hopefully won't screw this up, and then I'll put it on my my podcast. And anytime you want the old bastard, if anybody knows, if you want the old pirate on to talk with you as well, I'd be more than happy to, sir. I appreciate you do what you do, and I'll be more than happy to reciprocate in kind.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks again, Mr. Williamson. You take care, sir.
See ya. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Well, that was awesome. I'm glad that actually worked out. It was kind of difficult for me to figure that one out. I'm glad that the interview came in and came in well with Bill Williamson. Again, my special thanks to Mr. Williamson. I was just worried that I wouldn't be able to get it on screen, and it took me a bit to put the parts in and and get it to the right filtering. But again, woo! I'm glad I can do that again. Now that I've done it once, I can do it again. So that's the really good thing going on there. Is it makes me know that I can do it again, which leads me to tell you this again. Thanks for all the people that are here. The phone line is up, 813-699-0824. If you like that interview, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. We have our requisite 1 thumbs down, but you know what? Don't care. Don't care about a thumbs down. Hey, thanks, Frank. Frank says it's a good interview. I said, if you like it, give it a thumbs up for the show. And again, now that I'm live, Violator Wayne Mabry was in here, and that was awesome to see him in here. Again, I had a chance to type in my response over there in the chat, and it was really, really great to see Wayne. And again, if you are over there on YouTube and Facebook, thank you. We are also on Twitter. But again, thumbs up means actually that you got to click the thumb. I appreciate the thumbs up remarks, but you got to click the thumb. There you go. Jimmy Farrell, you are a first call for the evening. How are you doing there, sir? Hello, Jimmy Farrell.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? What's up?
Well, I just finished watching the 2011 Islanders versus Pittsburgh. Jared get a kick out of this. There was so much fighting in this game. By the end of the game, there was like 4 guys on each of the benches. That's how bad it was.
Okay, wait. You say that again. There was 4 guys on each bench for what?
There was so much fighting in the game.
Oh, okay. So by the time that everybody was done, okay, they only had like 4 substitutes each?
Yeah, just about.
And what?
I mean, the game was like 9-3 Islanders.
And this is Islanders versus who and what year?
Pittsburgh, 2011.
Okay, wow. I know you got a really good charge out of that. The fact that it's a Islander win. I'm sure you enjoyed the hell out of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a kick out of it.
Now, by the way, I saw your question earlier. I can't remember what movie was actually on while I was doing the interview. I think it was the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet about.
Oh, okay.
That was on TV earlier. You guys can see my reflection now. I actually just stopped, or I had on Uncle Buck, because you gotta put on Uncle Buck when you have something to watch,
Yeah. I was reading on Facebook maybe yesterday or the other day about power rankings. I mean, they got power rankings already, and this season hasn't even started. It's just laughable.
Well,
I mean, they got the Raiders.
I think they're at like 20. Yeah, 20 or
20th?
Yeah.
At 30-1 odds.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, the power rankings I saw, they moved up from 21 to 20th. So, right. they made a major jump of 1 in preseason power rankings.
Yeah, and they gave Tampa like a top 10 already. I mean, come on. All right, you got Tom Brady. Was Tom Brady going to change this whole team around? There's other players on the team. Come on, give me a break.
Well, if Brady and Gronkowski can pass and throw and tackle and kick and do everything, then fantastic.
They'll go to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll be. And again, living here. See, you all have no clue, because I live here in Tampa, and I've invited some of my friends that are Bucks fans to come on, and hopefully I'll get a chance to have them come on sometime soon. But if you listen to them, if you listen to the local radio, which I don't do, because the local, well, I won't say it, because again, maybe one of these days I want to get hired. but let's just say that there is never a bunch of more homers, and no, Homer, that's not directed at you, but there are such homers here in this market. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, to have it now, it just doesn't make sense. You know?
Unknown caller, unknown caller at 612. Call back in 1 minute. Call back in 1 minute. 612. Call back in 1 minute, because I want to give Jimmy his at least 5. See, Jimmy, I didn't kick you out. I could have said, hey, you were on long enough, but I didn't do that. But 612, I definitely want to hear from you.
I hear you. So, you know, the new schedule should be coming out next week. Now they're saying that they're going to push the season, you know, till October, or they're going to start the season. I mean, I'm excited that we're getting the schedule next week. I mean, at least we've got something to look forward to. You know, now the draft is over.
Right. Well, they're gonna have to do the schedule, because this way, I mean, you got to start making plans somewhat. Okay, you got to start making plans somewhat, and you can't do that without a schedule. And I already saw where they were talking about the. Oh, by the way, Sergeant Bilko is the movie that you're watching behind me, if you're also watching on screen. Now I definitely got to let you go, Jimmy. But yeah, I'm excited too.
All right. Take care.
All right, take care as well. That was Jimmy Farrell, and we go right from Jimmy Farrell to our Pittsburgh call. Gotta have a Pittsburgh call from our boy. How you doing there, Jared? What's going on with you?
Good, Captain. How you doing tonight?
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, me either. Can't complain. Just got finished watching the movie, so I figured I'd give you a ring, Howard, see what was new.
Yeah, what movie are you watching?
Stripes.
Yeah, I saw that. Is it still on?
No, I have it on demand. I had it on demand, however, mind you. So I was watching on demand earlier, so I can go back and watch the rest of it later on demand, however. Plus, I have it on DVD.
There you go. Well, I like I said, Sergeant Bilko just turned on, so at least we're doing that Army thing right now together.
Yes. Not much to report here, except they're going to have some places starting to open up tomorrow, believe it or not, maybe, depending on the weather, however. They're just going to keep everyone close by, however. But, yeah, they're saying they're going to start opening up golf courses and that tomorrow here. So
that's in
hopefully,
Pittsburgh, folks.
So we can get out and play.
They're opening up Pittsburgh tomorrow, according to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of the golf courses around here, yes. But I did see the story earlier in the week, however, they were talking about they were supposed to announce the NFL schedule, and I guess they're going to wait till next week now, I'm thinking, with this whole ordeal, however. And then they're going to start announcing which games are what, however. But I'm still amazed that they're going to go into the end of February now with the Super Bowl they're talking about.
Well, Jimmy was just talking about that as well, and he said that, and in fact, he was just getting on that when you had called in, and I had to go to your call. But yeah, it doesn't. I mean, really, it is. It doesn't matter. I mean, we have to start making plans if it will happen one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
But you said they said now, if I'm not mistaken, they were talking like late February, early March for a Super Bowl.
That's what I've been hearing. Correct. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's Tampa, that it doesn't really matter what the weather is going to be like. I mean, February, it can be cold in February, but it's definitely not going to be as cold as it could be up at those other sites that they could have it at.
Sure. Well, of course, the big story of the day is obviously where Andy Dalton's going to end up. And I keep hearing all this scuttlebutt. Oh, he's going to end up in New England. He's going to end up here. He's going to end up there. I mean, where do you think he's going to end up?
Well, I mean, the obvious choice is New England, but who else needs a quarterback? I mean, don't just peg him into New England just because he automatically should fit there. I mean, yeah, they're the likely choice, but there are other teams that need quarterbacks, and then since Andy Dalton's a free agent, it's going to be up to him where he wants to go.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens with him, and then I'm hearing all this stuff about we've talked about before, college football. I mean, they're supposed to make a decision on college football real soon. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. However, I mean, I don't know yet. It's going to be interesting.
Well, like I said, when we were looking for the fact that we were going to see if they were even going to have a season, I was under the impression that they had just canked it as of the last time that we had spoken. So, but
Yeah.
apparently, since we have not heard that, I think maybe the NCAA might have gotten some information, or were talking to other people, and that's the reason why they didn't pull the plug as quickly as they could have.
I mean, they're talking about, like I said, I'm just looking right now at CBS up like all the teams. They've already got some of the teams that are already picking records for the season, like SEC, ACC, Big East, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I'm just looking at some of these teams. Like I said, I haven't seen any of the big games. Like I said, I mean, once they announce the college schedule, when that comes to play, and how they're going to probably circle which dates, however, mind you, which games are going to be the ones to watch out for.
Oh, Jared, I got to knock you out, brother, but thank you for calling in.
I'll talk at you.
All right, that was Jared in Pittsburgh. Good hearing from him. I got 612. 612, you were my caller earlier, were you not? Who am I speaking to? 612, you're on. Hello, 612.
Crazy Cooter coming at you, Jim.
Hello?
Hey, this is Crazy Cooter.
Hey, Cooter, what's going on, brother? Good to hear from you now. Let me make sure I go to the large screenshots. I don't want to lose you. How you doing, brother? You on the road, I take it?
Oh yeah, I'm on my way out to Oakland.
On the way to Oakland. So, folks, hey, the folks that are Raider Nation that don't get a chance to see Oakland, Cooter will be seeing it for us. So I definitely want to report whenever you go by there, take a picture of whatever you got going on and throw it up on my Facebook. And I mean, obviously all the folks that live out there will say, what the hell, it doesn't matter. But for the folks that don't get a chance to see it, it'll be nice to see it. How you doing, brother?
Always better than I deserve, dude.
Yeah. So what's up?
Oh, just out hanging out, doing my thing, out in Wyoming, Rawlins, Wyoming right now. Just gonna chill and have myself a Crown Royal A&W.
A Crown Royal A&W. Obviously, you're not driving right now.
No. I drove 562 miles today.
Okay. So for all you folks out there that I wanted to alleviate any fear that Cooter has been done with his haul for the day, so this is his relaxation Crown Royal A&W.
That's right, Crown Royal Vanilla. Oh, buddy. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Hey, Cooter, I had a question for you, and it was put up to me from a Vikings board when Randy Moss's kid was available, okay, and he went through the entire draft. Why did the Vikings not sign him?
You know what? I'm kind of miffed about that too, because, hey, you know what the freak showed us when he was here, and for his kid or Antoine Winfield to not come to the Vikings was just a kick in the butt.
Yeah, well, Winfield was drafted, so you can't really make any on that, and I can't remember who Winfield went to, but he was obviously a target for a bunch of people because of the lineage.
He went to Tampa Bay.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Winfield went to Tampa Bay. And you know what? Joe Lamonte, Sir Pistols of my VWO group, is planning a huge party for us in Tampa. Oh, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, depending upon the schedule, and what the Viking game in Tampa corresponds to which Raider game, I might join you. Again, I got to see what I got to see what the schedule is. Depending upon the game.
We don't know yet. We don't know that yet. But here's the thing: if I come down there, I'm gonna ride my bike. Hopefully, it's early enough season to where I can ride my bike down there. From Minnesota.
Well, I mean, from Minnesota, comparatively, I mean, you could ride your bike 365 here, except when it rains, it's a real bitch when it's in the rain. I'll tell you that. You know, the rain months here suck.
I got good rain gear. Even if it was late, maybe late October, early November, dude, I got good snowmobile gear. Trust me.
Okay.
If I had to ride down to Kansas City in my snowmobile gear beforehand, as long as it wasn't snowing, I'm riding my bike down to that deal. And here's the thing. Joe Lamonte, Sir Pistols, from my BWO group, he's a huge coordinator of all these big group things, okay? And he's already got first dibs on group tickets for that game.
Now, who did you say was the coordinator?
Joe Lamonte, Sir Pistols.
Okay, Joe Lamonte. I thought you said Daryl LaMonica, and I'm like, I thought he lived up in the Buffalo area. No, okay. Joe Lamonte.
Joe Lamonte lives in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay, well, that's why I asked.
He's the one that coordinated our huge party in KC last year, and where did he do it the year before? He did it out in L.A. the year before.
Right.
So he's got connections with the NFL and the Vikings, and he's got first dibs on group tickets for that game once they announce it.
Okay. Well, like I said,
I can't wait. I can't wait to come down there in your home turf and be there with you and finally get to give you a big hug.
Well, that is obviously, and a big hug will be given back, and that's why I said hopefully it will be a game that I will be able to go to, because again, I will be dressed in my Captain Jack gear, and I will wear something purple, because I definitely will be rooting for the Vikings again. But I gotta see how the schedule turns out, because again, you know, if it's a big game Raider wise with somebody else, then, you know, I can't be there. But I'm going to try to make it my best to be there.
Right, and I hope to God that that's what happens, dude, because it's been way too long. You and I have been trying to cross paths for years here, and it hasn't happened, and I need to see you.
Well, Cooter, it'll be a pleasure there, shipmate. Definitely, for sure. Hey, thanks for stopping in, brother.
Skull Vikings!
Skull Vikings in the yard.
Keep that grease side down, sunny side up. Wheels spinning the beaters.
All right, Crazy Cooter. Thanks again there, shipmate. Good to hear from you. And we got another incoming call. It's Ed Winchell. Thanks for coming in there, Ed. Appreciate that, brother. What's going on? Oh, it was Ed Winchell. I swear I pushed green. Ed Winchell was on the line. I pushed green. Got to call back in, Ed. Got to call back in, Ed. Okay. Now, I was seeing this. Angry at Trask was saying, who's posting porn? Who's posting porn? I didn't get a chance to see the entire conversation. 3 months hard time for spamming. I'm trying to read the comments as I can. I swear I'm trying to reach the comments. Ed Winchell did call. We got a, well, let me go back to basic. Hang on here. 813-699-0834. 813-699-0834. Line is open. Ed Winchell was calling. Ed, I swear I pushed green. There it is. I got you now. Ed Winchell, how you doing, brother? What's going on with you? Ed Winchell.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here, brother. What's up?
Hey, Jay. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm trying to read these comments, and then somebody was talking about Raider porn.
Raider porn? I never heard of that.
I don't know. Also, something about Raider porn. Oh, Homer was spamming Facebook groups. Okay. There's another call coming in, but 972. You got. There you go. I appreciate it. 972 figured out that we were on another call. Call back in about 4 minutes. How you doing, brother? What's going on?
Not bad, my friend. Not bad. Just wanted to call and give my 2 cents about football for this year in the NFL.
Sure.
I know everybody everybody's pushing about getting football going. Unfortunately, from what I hear from government in California, is really against having any football in California, at least for the next 6 months. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it with no fans. If they are in California, if there's going to be NFL football, it's going to be without fans. Is how I am reading things.
Oh, okay. Oh, apparently I had porn on. It's Sergeant Bilko. Oh my God. Okay, if you guys are watching, I bet you know what? I might have to turn off the TV. If it was, I'm sorry. People are watching, the movie behind me as well. It's Sergeant Bilko. It's Sergeant Bilko. So if there was a naked lady on it, I apologize to the audience. I tried to have at least a fun movie on. I ain't changing it. Fuck it. Go ahead, brother. So again, again with California, okay, and again since we cleared that up, I'm not watching porn. Okay, I'm watching Sergeant Bilko. Okay, Glenn Headley is trying to get married. If you don't know who Glenn Headley is, she was the lady that was in the movie with Steve Martin and Michael Caine. Oh shit, what was the name of it? They were people that bilked people out of money. Bilked people out of money. Bilko. In southern France. Anyway, screw it. Go ahead, Ed. Now let's get back to California. What is going to be the situation in California if the NFL has these plans, and if we're talking 6 months, so we got May, June, July, August, September, October. So basically, they're saying that the earliest that the NFL could play there would be November. That means that they would have to figure out other places, and Phoenix, Phoenix, because you can't do it in San Diego, that's still California. Phoenix would have to be distinguished gentleman. No, I don't. Maybe it is distinguished gentleman, but California would have to figure something else out, and I don't know what the hell they would do.
Well, there's 4 stages the governor lined out this week. Sports venues and sports concerts are all in stage 4. He just started on May 1st. He starts stage 1. He says it's months in his mind that we will go to stage 2, and that is predicated on people adhering to the laws, which they're not doing because everyone's going to the beach in California. Because of that, he's now closing the beaches in California starting tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
Parks until further notice.
Dirty rotten
so
scoundrels. There you go. Sorry, Ed. I had to. Dirty rotten scoundrels. Thank you. So go ahead. So yeah, the beaches are closed.
Yeah. So stage 1 is already getting screwed up, and he has said adamantly that he does not see fans in his mind for the rest of the year in the sports, concerts, venue in California. Now, we've got 3 teams in California. That's going to alter a lot of the scheduling if that is the case. So I wanted to get your opinion on that.
Well,
what happens if that is the case? Nothing is set in stone with this damn virus. So he has laid out the 4 stages. In stage 4 is where sports line up. He's indicating 6 months away from stage 4. Now, what is the options for the NFL to conduct an NFL season with 3 California teams not able to play in the state of California?
Well, that's the $1 million question right there. And whatever they do, they're going to have to figure out. They're going to have to figure out a battle plan because you can't have California being the largest of maybe these no-show states saying that we're not going to have football. And I'm not in California, so I can agree. A lot of people are saying Gavin Newsom is an idiot. I agree. I don't live there. I don't have to live there. Yeah, dude. No, you can dial in, Angria. I mean, for sure. I want to hear from Angria Trask. But again, if the NFL, I don't think the NFL is going to make a plan with anybody unless they have the consensus of all the teams. And if the California teams wish to participate, it might be incumbent on the 49ers, the Chargers, and the Rams to find alternate places to go. And the other thing is that what they might do is they might say, hey, this is money that you're not making, California, and we're bringing it somewhere else. And maybe Newsom might say, you know what, that's a lot of money that we're not getting. And he might figure it out that that's the thing to do.
Well, I'm reading some comments like Mike Sarah says, screw the California teams. Mike, that's the worst idea I've heard. They're a part of the NFL, and they're going to have to be addressed. That's the way it is, Mike. And I think Cap, that Newsom has done a great job in California with what he's done. You know, we're talking about the virus. We're in better shape than we ever thought we would be. LA is now giving free COVID-19 tests to everybody for free. But that's not what I called them, you know, to talk about virus. I just really think, you know, like Jared, and I've heard the same thing, March Super Bowl, but how do we get around the California issues when nobody's going to be playing in California?
Well, we'll figure that one out on the fly. And I'm gonna go now, brother. But thank you for calling in. I appreciate that.
Take care, buddy.
That was Ed Winchell. We go to our next caller, who is 972. 972. Who are you? Hello. Hello. 972.
Hey, Captain Jack.
Who is
this? This is the Big Wheel from Dallas.
Yeah, this is who?
The Big Wheel. Lloyd
hey,
from Dallas.
Lloyd Wheeler. Good to hear from you, brother. And again, I wanted to make. Yeah, I'm here. Lloyd, turn your radio or turn your computer down.
I got it.
So we don't have a lot of feedback. Okay, brother. We got Lloyd Wheeler on the line, who is a Cowboy fan. I'm glad to hear from Lloyd because I've been wanting to have a bunch of Cowboy fans. I've tried to get Prime Marin out here for a while. I saw Lloyd there as well, and I'm very happy that he called in. Lloyd, are you still there, brother?
I am here. Yes, sir.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit easier for the phone call. Remember, there's about a 7-second delay of what is actual live and what is coming across your computer. So I apologize for that. And again, my bestest to you, and I'm glad you called in. I want to hear from a real live Cowboy fan and not some fake Cowboy fan, because there's a shit ton of fake Cowboy fans. You are a true Cowboy fan, about what the Cowboys have to do to ensure that they are a real playoff contender this year, and what they are going to do with all these contracts. Because remember, you still have not signed Dak Prescott yet.
Right. Yeah, I think we've made good progress as far as the draft is concerned. I think we had a really good draft. I would have to give that an A all the way across the board. Getting Lamb in that 17th spot was a steal.
Yeah, it was.
And then we got us a good cornerback out of Alabama in Diggs, and then a good defensive tackle out of Oklahoma in Gallimore. So as far as the contracts, it's I don't know. You know, Dak is I don't know if they're going to end up going ahead and franchising him or what they're going to do as far as getting the contract worked out with him, because I'm still not so totally sold on him being the one that can get us to the Super Bowl. So if maybe McCarthy can change things around, I have more faith in him than I do in Jason Garrett anyway.
Yeah, I tell you, that's definitely an upgrade there. I mean, no matter what, your coaching is improved at least 50%. And again, that's not all on Jason Garrett, but the fact is that he was a person that was just basically just keeping the Cowboys back. Anything that he could have done to keep the Cowboys back, he did. And again, McCarthy, being the hard charger that he is, will be, so much better for him.
Right. And I was hoping we would address the defense in the draft, and we did. And I think we got a couple of pretty good people there. Actually, 3 good people, 2 cornerbacks and a defensive tackle, and Lamb should improve that offense immensely because he can play the slot or the wide receiver position, and we all know what kind of breakaway speed he's got and how good he is in the open. So I think the offense is going to be improved, and they put up a lot of yards last year.
Yeah, actually, I think that the Lamb signing for Cowboys is so much better because, and we're all gonna talk shit about Amari Cooper because Amari Cooper he's like a 33% guy. He shows up for 1 game and then he's gone for 2. So I mean, and you're finding that out. That's why Raider fans are, wonderful in the fact that they got a first-round pick from the Cowboys for a guy that wasn't producing and didn't have the proper headset. So, I mean, again, we're denigrating him only because we saw what he did with us. He is playing better for the Cowboys because he wants to be there, but he still has not quite shown up yet, unless you can tell. I mean, I'm watching games, especially like for the Packers last year, when the Cowboys needed a somebody to come in there and do the job, and Cooper was nowhere to be found, man. Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, he definitely took off a couple of games there later in the season. So I do know what you're talking about there. So I don't know if that continues, then maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why they picked up Lamb, because they can't trust the guy, but who knows,
Yeah, I think that with Lamb being an understudy, I think he's going to be put to the presses real soon, and that there will be a bigger call for CeeDee Lamb. I mean, I like your other receivers, man. I really do. I mean, Gallup, if I got the name correctly, Gallup is a good guy, and he was very hands-on for them. I actually think that Gallup is a better receiver for what Dallas needs than what Amari Cooper ever could be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Gallup's a good one. Yeah, he's still young, so he's still got a lot to learn.
Right, and that'll be now. The one bad thing is that with Witten out of the receivers room, granted I know he's a tight end, but with Witten gone, you've lost a very steadfast veteran that needs to come in and show the worth. Hey, Wheels, I gotta go, but man, I appreciate you calling, brother, and don't be a stranger.
All right. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you later, and have a good night.
All right. Thanks again there, Wheels. And again, great call. Oh, wait, my caller dropped. One final thing before somebody else knocks you out there, Wheels. Like I said, who is your veteran that's going to take over that role in the receiving corps?
You're talking about a tight end or for overall?
No, overall. You need somebody that's the gray hair, the long tooth, the guy that's people are gonna listen to, and they used to listen to Witten, but he's not there.
Yeah, that's the problem right now, because we don't have anybody that's going to step up like that, because Cooper's not going to do it, and Gallup's still too young, and I don't think he's going to do it either. So that'll be a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, well, now you signed Cobb, right?
Well, no, he was a free agent, so he went elsewhere. Otherwise, I would have picked him as the guy that would be the leader,
Okay. Well, hey, again, Wheels, thanks again, brother. Now you have been knocked out. You take care.
All right, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Mr. Wheeler, Lloyd Wheeler, the Cowboy fan, and I got a call from 347. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Who do I got on the phone? Hello? 347. Hey, folks, let me tell you this, okay? There is a 7 to 10 second wait between what you're looking at and what you see. So when I get to you, if you're watching, thank you, fantastic. But there's going to be a little bit of a lag time, okay? So please, if you don't listen to the show when you're calling into the phone, okay? Please don't listen to the show. If you're calling in, just call in, and when this way it'll be right there. It'll be right there. I had a call from 347, okay? Hopefully they'll call back. If you were the caller, please call back, because there is that little bit of a lag time. Line is open, 813-699-0834. It's just like calling into the radio. You know, they have that 7-second delay. It's just like that here. What's going out live is excuse me, my dinner's coming back up. It's about 7 to 10 seconds later, or there's that delay. 7 seconds to 10 seconds later. There we go. Got a call. 347. Who am I speaking to? What's going on? Hello.
7 seconds to 10 seconds later.
Hello.
Got it.
Hello.
Jay, it's Alan. How are you?
Alan.
Jay,
hey,
can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. As I was just saying, there's that 7 to 10 seconds. So you're going to have to turn your computer down so you don't get that lag in, brother.
Yeah, it's already down. It was more than 10 seconds for sure.
Okay. Well,
but I'm on, so that's the important thing.
Hey, yeah, you're on, brother. I would never hang up on you, Alan. That's for sure.
I know that. I mean, this is insane, this pandemic. Unfortunately, we have to live through this. We'll get over it, but, we're going to be without sports for quite a while.
Yeah, and again, I know that you are up in one of the major epicenters, so my best to you, Melly, your daughter, even her Jets boyfriend, everybody that's up there. You know, it's one of those things where you gotta wish for the souls up there, and I hope that you guys are staying as healthy and sane as you can.
Thank you. We're doing okay, and my apologies, but I did have to knock out the Cowboy fan. That was what I was trying to do.
Well, you did it, but then when you came on and I hooked to you, but you dropped, and I wasn't going to drop him and go to dead air. No offense, but that's why I said keep calling. And like I said, if you call in, stop watching. I mean, I love you watching, but if you call in, stop watching so you know that you're on. So again, being a New York guy, I know you gotta. There's not a lot of love lost with Cowboy. Wheels, I appreciate him calling in though for sure. So Dallin, your take, brother. One of the most diehard Raider fans that I met. God, when did I meet you, Alan? It's been what, 10 years?
Oh geez, at least 10 years, if not 12.
Yeah. Now it was when the Raiders played in New York. I think it was the Giants game that when the Raiders had like one touchdown. If you really look at it, they shouldn't have had 0 touchdowns because they gave us that touchdown. I think it was that game.
Michael Bush, maybe he scored the one touchdown for us. That was like 2008.
Yeah. So it's been over 10 years. That's for sure.
Yeah, and looking at the draft, the Cowboys actually got the 2 kids that I wanted to draft. I did want CD Lamb, but looking at it now and looking at who we drafted, it's obvious that Mayock and Gruden want to compete with KC, because if you look at the list of the players, even on defense, it's all speed.
Right.
So Arnett could be the sleeper. We have that X factor with Lynn Bowden. You have the possibility of 5 of these guys being in the starting lineup at minimum.
Yeah.
At minimum. Then if you look at the free agents, we solidified our defense with Littleton. We got Carl Nassib as a defensive end back there, and a little bit of a healthy quarterback competition getting Mariota in here. And Carr's going to be the starter, but now he's got to look over his shoulder a little bit and start to play with some balls. You know, we got them the weapons. We're fully loaded. We're going to score points, and there's going to be no chance for him to screw up this year and remain with the Las Vegas Raiders in 2021. I do believe that there will be a season. You know, what one of your callers said earlier, starting it up in the middle of October and running it to the end of February, early March, with no bye weeks, no week in between the championship games and the Super Bowl, and maybe the first 4 weeks or so without fans, depending on how things go. And, you know, there's no resurgence of COVID-19 cases. It's doable.
I mean, to be honest, I think that everybody wants a season. And if they have to forego going to see them live, I mean, so many people watch them on TV anyway. That's why the Sunday ticket is such a hot item, okay? Will it be different? Sure. But we'd rather see a live game of what's going on than a bunch of, you know, like, and I can't fault NBC from holding these Stanley Cup, you know, reruns like they're doing. At least we're watching something. But if we're watching a live game and knowing that it counts, that's what the important thing is.
I just can't imagine NFL football without fans. I mean, if it has to be, it has to be. I think it's going to be difficult to watch. I think it's going to be difficult for the players to build up the momentum and the urgency necessary that they would have with fans in the stadium, obviously. You know, isn't it just ironic that the inaugural season for the Las Vegas Raiders is marred by a pandemic?
Yeah.
Isn't it just ironic with our history?
Yeah, I mean, it's par for the course. Alan, thanks again, brother. I'm gonna get to Andrea before she went away. Andrea, you were next. I was gonna catch you. Okay, Alan, finish your thought. I agree. Andrea give me a call back again because she had finished with her grumpy baby. But yeah, I agree, Alan. It's one of those things where it's like the old hee-haw song. If it weren't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all. Oh, gloom, despair, and agony on me. And yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing that we need is a big resurgence. We're not going to get that. Alan, brother, you take care. Blessings to you and Melly Mel and everybody.
Love you, brother.
Love you back. That's Alan, my boy in New York. There we go. Andrea, don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Love you, baby. Don't hang up. You there? Andrea.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Ooh. Again, thank you, darling. I appreciate you calling in. I will call if I know who the caller is, or at least the number. I'll get it done. Great hearing from you, honey. Now, Andrea is up in Alaska, and I wanted to ask, how is the pandemic up there? Real quick. I don't want a bunch of stupid pandemic stuff, but not stupid. But you know what I'm saying. I want to talk football. But how is the state up there with you?
It's not bad. We don't have, I think we just barely hit 200 cases, and 90% of people are recovering. So we've only had 2 deaths, I believe, which is terrible in and of itself, but it's not bad, all things considered.
Yeah, well, there you go. And again, I'm hoping that you are healthy and all that goes with it, sweetheart.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay. The one and only Andrea Trask is on our phone, and again, I always talk up this lady because this lady knows more about the Raiders than all of us combined, and I mean that.
Oh, I think you're going a little too far there, Kevin.
Well, okay, then at least the person that always gives me a thumbs down. I will say that. And I know who that person is.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take that.
So what is your views of the draft, honey? And I love your spot where you said that all these people who think they know everything about football, obviously they don't know more than the general managers and the head coaches in the league. I agree with that. But what was your view on the Raiders draft?
Yeah, I have to say The Raiders draft, I think we hit everything we needed to hit. That's what I'm excited about, is that we got talent, we got levels of talent, and that is one thing that we've been sorely missing. Sure, we have a talented guy here and there in certain positions. We'll have one really good corner, one decent corner, whatever it is, but we don't have any depth behind it. And it looks like Gruden is trying to do a lot of stuff by committee, which is perfectly fine with me until everybody weeds themselves out. I like the first round picks, whether you like it or not. Damon Arnett is a fantastic cornerback, and he will be great for the Raiders. Ruggs, speed kills 2.0. Let's just take that. I love that pick, and I think that his relationship with Josh Jacobs had a lot to do with him being a Raider right now. And what we did last year, which is the same thing that we did this year, is won late rounds of the draft. And people are complaining that we didn't use our draft capital correctly, but I don't understand where we would have drafted him. Where we would have drafted these guys that we wanted to get on our team, that need to be on our team. If we lose them, we lose them. They're gone. If we give up the 19th pick, if we pick another wide receiver, who are we gonna take with us? We've got so many people in the wide receiver room right now. We just signed Randall Pearsonell again, and these are all camp bodies, I'm sure, but taking 3 rookie wide receivers is ridiculous. And we got a guy at 19 that I think is in a position that's sorely needed. And I think the later rounds we did some really good stuff. I really like that Swiss Army knife guy pick. I can't remember his name.
Tanner Muse?
What's his name? No.
No, Bowden from Kentucky. Yeah. Bowden.
Yes. I love that pick. People are probably going to rip me for this, but I absolutely love Taysom Hill, and I love a guy like that can play Ironman football. Put me in wherever the hell you want to put me in, coach, and I'm going to play that position. The only thing he doesn't do is kick a damn ball. And if we can get a guy that can do that and that wants to do that and loves it that much, damn it, I love it.
Yeah, I tell you, and again, I like the fact that we are getting, not only do we have really, really good players that are going to be our starters, but we are filling the depth so that basically when we say next man up, the next man up is just as good as, or maybe only slightly below the same level of who our starters are. And that's fantastic. Right. Now, granted, we're going to have to wait another year on the linebacking core because basically whoever are our starters at linebacker right now, we need to get the depth there because we didn't have anybody as linebackers last year. I mean, other than Markel Lee, who I think is the only holdout, and Morrow, who's the only other holdouts. I mean, we needed to have some people that were better than them, and now we do. So it's still going to be another year till we have depth in the linebacker core. But I like the depth along the defensive line. I like the depth in the defensive backfield now. I think we're good to go there. And, you put everybody together for special teams, like I said, with Bowden back there, Bowden can do everything. I tell you, he can run, he can throw, he can pass. And again, if you're not utilizing him, I swear he's going to be selling popcorn and peanuts and beer in the Las Vegas stands because he's going to be doing something. He's going to be doing something.
He's going to be doing whatever he wants to do in his off time, whenever he's not on the field.
That's right.
I tell you what, I think we picked up a lot of players this year that are throwback style Raiders, and I love it. If John Gruden is a hard-nosed, old-school coach. You know that I love me some John Gruden. He's my favorite coach other than John Madden. And he wants to throw this back, and that's fine with me. That's perfectly fine. If we can take this back to hard-nosed 70s football, flags be damned. I don't give a shit how many they throw. If we're still beating everybody, the penalty yards don't matter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's only a factor when you're losing. The flags exactly. Are really bad when you're losing, but if you're beating somebody up and down, okay, and you're doing everything you can to beat them both physically, psychologically, on the scoreboard, in the stands, again, that's Raider Nation. But if you're beating them every which way, then that's the way it was in the 70s. And that's what Gruden is trying to get back to, basic Raider football. And that's just the way I love it as well. I do. I love it as well.
It's amazing. It's fantastic. I can't wait. This season better start soon. I don't know what we're going to see, but hopefully we see a September start date, and hopefully they announce it soon so we don't all sit on our hands wondering what the hell's going to happen. But I tell you what, I mean, if we're making rules instead of breaking rules like we did in the 70s, I'm going to be a happy camper.
I hear Jack.
Oh, yeah, he's back here putting
if you guys were wondering, that is little Jack. That's right there at the well, I'm not going to say at the bosom because I don't know, but definitely right there within eye and earshot of our favorite caller, Andrea. So I love you for doing that. And by the way, folks, I'm going to announce it. If all goes well, Andrea and I will be going back to doing our podcast this year too. So hopefully that'll happen as well. So you'll get a chance to hear from Andrea and me once a week for our podcast. So be sure to be there for that as well.
Fingers crossed everything goes well.
Fingers crossed. I no pressure. I said if all goes well. If all goes
yep, absolutely.
well. Okay, and if Andrea doesn't do it, I know there's reasons behind it, and I accept that. But again, I love her to death. Again, for the person that knows more about the Raiders than most everybody else, I will say that, and that's true. I appreciate the call, Andrea. You be well and be safe up there, honey.
Well, you do that as well, and I will. We'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks for calling in, hon.
Bye, Jack.
All right. Bye-bye. That's Andrea Trask, otherwise known as my favorite lady, Andrea Dolan. I love her to death. Again, you can't beat a lady that knows so much about the Raiders. Knows so much about the Raiders. So, what goes without saying, we do have a line open. 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. Oh, I got to fix that. I didn't realize that was all screwed up. So again, let's not, I know why, as I put it up on front. 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. It's time to call in. Always enjoy hearing from Andrea. And again, if all goes well, and I hope it does, because I love doing shows with her, because the insight, this lady knows so much, is so informative, and it's just entertaining. Great show. Line is open, 813-699-0834. Who's going to take that line? I noticed I have something I got to fix in the what do you call it? Well, can't do it right now. 916, who am I speaking to? Who am I talking to? Hello?
Hey, Captain. Don.
Hey, is this Don Webb?
Yes.
Good to hear from you, brother. And Mike was calling. I apologize, Mike, but I got to Don first. What's going on, and how are things in Vegas, brother?
Oh, I had a medical issue today that I'm back in the saddle. It took me a few hours to recover, but oh well. Anyway,
you were missed.
I was talking.
You were missed, man. People were saying, "Where the hell is Don Webb?" I didn't even. I swear it wasn't me. But and people were saying, "Where's Don?" And then people went to find you. That means that you are missed when people know you're gone.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm just a little guy from Vegas that loves the Raiders.
Yeah. Well, you're not a little guy, because you're at least my size. Not you're in height. You're definitely at least taller.
I'm 6'1", 215.
There you go. Yeah, because you're not as girthy as me, and that's a good thing. You have better health in that respect, better health than me. So talk to me, Don. Now, somebody was telling me that, and I think it was Logan that was saying that Carr was out there throwing with his receivers in Vegas today. Did you get a chance to see that?
I haven't seen it, but I know he was. I know he's got a. Here's what's going to be weird. He loves the dude they got from Buffalo. What's his name? wide
Zay
receiver.
Jones. Zay Jones.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to make the team personally with all this new talent. I'll be shocked if he does, but we will see on that. But I was actually thinking with Bowden, especially inside the 20, run pass option, speed around the ends, running the ball. This is going to be, if Gruden has imagination, which he does, we're looking probably one or two best offenses in football if they use them right. Instead of doing a vanilla, it's 3rd down and 4, we're going to run it to Jacobs. We don't need that no more.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that guy's going to be.
Yeah, now everybody was saying that Mariota was going to be our gadget inside the 10. Not necessarily. I mean, because Bowden could be that gadget, and you don't have what do you call it, Mariota out there that might get injured. You know, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, because
I was even thinking that put Mariota in as a decoy, move him out to the split end, and have Bowden run the show. Because that guy, if you really pay attention to him at Kentucky, he's hard to tackle. He's elusive, strong, and he's quick. Then you got Jacobs. Imagine doing an option with those two. That's going to be deadly.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, trust me, I know about Bowden. And as I was saying, did you hear? Oh, you didn't hear the interview with Bill Williamson. Go back and listen to that, man. Very, very informative.
Okay.
Like I said, I know. I mean, about all of these SEC players, obviously, because I'm an SEC guy. We took 3 Southeast Conference receivers. We're stock on it, and I tell you, it proves to me, and everybody says that I'm biased, but if you look at the national champions for so many years until Clemson finally won, and I'm saying this for you, Hollywood, because I know that Clemson was the national champion. Okay. Until Clemson finally won, during all of these years, the SEC was kicking everybody's ass each and every year.
Oh, the SEC is dominating. That people like it or not. I'm an Ohio State guy, but if you say Big Ten and Ohio and the SEC, you got to go SEC easily.
Yeah, and again, I didn't bring up any UF-OSU national champion 3. National champion. I'll make sure the camera sees it. 3 national championship games between OSU and UF. And no, you know what I'm talking about, Don. You know what I'm talking about.
I know. I'm still hurt, but I can deal with it.
I got it. I got to take it while I can. There you go.
Oh, that's fine. That's all I'm saying. I love it. I love talking smack, and you got to be able to handle it when you lose. When you win, that's the way it goes.
Yep, I know, because I have to listen to every Tampa Bay fan talk to me about one game. So again, it sucks when you're on the losing side. I tell you about that.
Okay, for all the ladies, don't get too mad at me, but I'm gonna call them tampon succaneers. I think that's a good name for them.
Yeah, well, Brady, they were talking about the Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay, and I'm like, really? Yeah. Oh my God. They are the tampon succaneers though, and it is what it is.
The bad news is that governor of Nevada just got on TV and he's shutting us down for a minimum of 2 more weeks, minimum. Then we're going to look at basically what Newsom's doing. I guess he's a little puff, and then decide what we're going to do about the big casinos and all that. But very frustrated because Vegas is tourism driven, and this place is going to get rocked in the next 6 months to a year. I guarantee it. Now,
they can't get that back, but I mean, I was actually talking to a young lady in chat today when I was putting out the invites. I tell you what, I would love to do this every week, but I'm normally not home. I mean, during the week to do this, to put the words out, to do the intros and reminders and all the other things. So when I get back to work, you guys and gals are going to have to remind yourselves that I'm on every Thursday and every Sunday unless you hear from me. because again, getting the word out means that there are a lot more views. But I won't be able to do this once I get back to real work. So you guys will have to do that.
Yeah. Well, I was all over today, but something popped up. I had to miss over an hour of your show, which pissed me off. But it's called compromise and family and all those little niceties. You got to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd rather let's put it this way. If they say, Jay, you got to come back to work in order to get your paycheck, I'll do that. I mean, gosh darn it, I'll do that. But hey, I'm glad that you're feeling better, Don, and always good hearing from you, brother, for sure.
Yeah, you guys take care, and thanks for taking my call.
Always, brother. Take care over there.
All right, see ya.
All right, that's my boy Don Webb in Vegas. Always good hearing from him, and always a pleasure. Line is open now, though, 813-699-0834. We've been rocking for an hour, and again, thank you. We did have Wayne Mabry on, Violator, earlier. It'd be nice to hear from him. If I knew he was calling, I'd clear the lines. I would clear the line saying let Violator call in. But I can't do that because again, you guys know that it's one of those. I want to hear from everybody. I love hearing from all my peeps. We got to get the word out. Because, again, I love my regulars, but I tell you, I'd love to hear more from people I don't get a chance to hear from. I said, hearing from Alan. And Alan, I love hearing from. I love hearing from Andrea. Love hearing from Andrea. That's why I said I hope and pray that things will go out well so I can do a podcast with her this year. And, again, not that I don't love everybody. I do. But when we have people that we don't hear from all the time, it makes for a more enjoyable show because then you hear that new voice. And, with Mr. Wheeler calling, it was great because, again, Lloyd is a Cowboy fan and listening to him, it's great because he's a new caller and he's talking about his Cowboys. It's good to hear that. So I'm reading the comments again. I appreciate the shares. If you guys can go and share this up, that'd be great. Always good to see love the shares, love the thumbs up too. Oh, thank you there, Vicky. Vicky said that in fact, if that's true, I'm going to take the phone number off. Makes it a little bit harder. So for the people that have the number, they know what the number is. But we'll see. We'll see if Wayne can call. Vicky will show me in comments if we can get Violator in here, because I definitely would love to hear from Wayne. And Mike Sarah's calling. So Mike, I'm taking your call. But if anything, we're trying to get Violator to call in. So hopefully we'll hear from him pretty soon. How are you doing in misery, brother?
Oh, hanging in there, man. I don't want to interrupt the Violator calling in. If he's calling, I'm hanging up.
Okay, well,
that guy's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he does call and if it is on my phone, because again, I do have Wayne's number. So hopefully I will. If it shows up on my phone, I will nicely say bye-bye. Kind of like
that's fine. Hey,
you got
totally
it.
agree. Hey, so anyway, I was gonna address the situation with California. I understand Ed saying that the governor is talking about closing it down for 2021. But the way I look at it, and this is my opinion only, is that the NFL owners have a lot of clout, they have a lot of money. I think they can override what the governor wants to do. I really think they can. And if California, if these teams know they're missing out on the money they're going to be missing out on, especially with this new stadium the Crosby's building, I cannot see them allowing that to happen. They'll figure out a way to override the governor. And that's my opinion. I believe there will be football this fall in California.
Yeah, I think so. I think that anything that gets done, they're gonna have to get everybody to buy in. because they can't just say we're going to be viable for like 25 teams, and then the 3 teams in California, maybe a couple, here there. Like, well, let's say New York, because Jersey technically, okay. Let's say Jersey doesn't want to play, okay. We got to go with what's going on there, but let's say they don't want to play. Well, those are large markets, okay. The New York market, even though they're playing in Jersey, even in Buffalo, okay, maybe Buffalo say, well, we're going to play our games in Toronto like they've done in the past, okay. Unless the Canadians, Dickie, I'm trying. If I text them, I'm trying. I try to keep my mind on one thing, but I will see if I can do that. But again, you're gonna need everybody to play by the same. You're gonna have to have the folks be there.
Yeah, it's either all or nothing.
Right.
And I think what you're saying is right. Yeah.
Right. You just can't do it half-ass.
No, and I just think that I think the NFL owners, they just they're greedy bastards, man, and they make a lot of money, and they don't want to lose out on anything like this. And I think they'll push for this as hard as they can. And I hope they do. I hope they win it. I don't want to see people get sick. I don't want to see that happen. And I don't agree with filling up stadiums right now, but I think by September we should be okay. That's my opinion too. So who knows? But I'm just hoping for the best. I couldn't imagine a year without football in the NFL. That would be rough.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's one of those things where the United States needs the leagues to come back. And obviously we're all partial to football. We are all partial to football, but not having any champions, within basketball and hockey, and then pushing back baseball, we are so hungry. We are so hungry for anything to happen, and it's ridiculous. It needs to be. And again, here's the thing, though. I am not saying. Do not quote me. I am not saying that sports trumps health. I'm not saying that, but if there's any way possible that we can have good health and our sports, then that's what's best for the United States. That's what's best for the world, That's why I say if we have to have games without fans for the first maybe quarter of a season, okay? For the first quarter of the season,
let's do it.
we have to do it. And the professional, and that's why I'm waiting to see what happens with baseball. I'm waiting to see what happens with that. And I was listening to maybe that they said that hockey might come in and come in and do something. Okay.
I heard hockey in June and July possibly. That's their kind of their game plan. Hopefully.
Now for them to come back in June and July.
Well, yeah, come back in June and have the Stanley Cup playoffs actually happen in July. Okay. I don't know if that's the truth or what's going on, and then in like early August, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of what I heard. I don't know how true what the truth is behind it, but.
Well, whatever works, man. I mean, I'm telling you, we need something. We need something.
Well, where the economy is shot. I know people don't want to hear this, but the economy's shot. It's going to be shot for a while. Anyway, I'll let you go, Captain. Good talking. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Well, always good talking to you.
I thought I heard somebody calling in.
Nope. But you're definitely on 5 minutes though. So I appreciate you calling in.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. That's Mike Sarah calling from Missouri. Always good listening to Mike. I did text Wayne. I don't know what he's doing, but hopefully we'll have. So again, if you do call in, and Wayne calls, I'm going to be as nice as possible and say I got to take Wayne, because that is the violator. The violator. Wow. You guys were talking about porn. I would not show. First off, I don't have any of the porn channels. Do not have any of the porn channels. The worst I have is Cinemax on a Saturday early morning. Okay, late night Friday, late night Saturday, Cinemax. No porn. Okay, no porn. So, Captain don't watch porn on TV. I will say honestly, Captain don't watch porn on TV. So, if there, and for any of the ladies that were offended, I apologize. I didn't see any. I'm watching the screens here. I'm not watching the TV. I have it on as like a, what do you call it? Like a diversion. Okay. Normally when I have my show, we're watching sports, but because sports is not on, I'm a movie guy, which is why we had the movie question the other night. Okay. I watch movies. I watch dramas. Okay, well, Angria, I wanted to be sure. I don't want to offend anybody, okay? Because if I didn't say it, I'd be wrong. Oh, so I got 2 thumbs down? Oh, okay, just the one. Yeah, Don, here's the thing, okay? Somebody's going to enter thumbs down. The funny thing is, and this is true, okay? If you enter a thumbs down, you gotta watch to enter a thumbs down, so it's a view. So if you're gonna watch, that's a view. So if you want to put thumbs down, it's a view. But I'm gonna text Wayne back, and I'm gonna say this is always great seeing you, brother, and that's true. And let me finish this. And in fact, I will show it. I won't show his phone number because I'm sure lots of people have it, but I said, love seeing you, ship. Always great seeing you, brother. Take care, shipmate delivered. And we're here. Hey, thanks, Aaron. And again, if the person, and that's why I said, Logan, I think I know who it is as well. Oh, there we go. It's not Violator, but is one of our favorites. Houston Steve, good to hear from you, brother. What's going on? How are you? Houston, Steve, are you there? Steve.
Yes, sir. Hey, Captain, did I call you? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're good. Hey, Steve, like I said, remember there's that 10-second delay at least. So if you're watching the show,
okay,
just make sure that you understand that. What's going on in Houston, brother? How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. How you doing? Yeah, Sheila and I went out to. She's got to take some defensive carving tomorrow, and so we took out. And then of course we went to our local favorite Mexican restaurant tomorrow. They're going to open it up 25%, so they're expecting a big crowd. But of course they have to make sure they do it the right way and legal way here in Texas. Have they done that in Florida yet, or not yet? 25%.
Well, Florida is opening up Monday, and
Monday.
Yeah, they're opening. But actually tomorrow I'm actually going to be busy because I actually got a note from my supervisor, who's a Raiders fan, by the way. That's good to have a Raiders fan as a supervisor. I got to work on my evaluation, so I will be doing that immediately after the show is done tonight, because I have no clue. It's one of those, you do your evaluation and I work on it for you, and I'm like, what do you want me to write? I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I can do self-evaluations, but really, I don't know. Anyway, so I know I'll be busy after the show. But again, I'm glad to see that Texas. Now, if I don't care, as long as it's done with respect to everybody and things are done in a healthy way. Like I said, sports does not trump health, okay? Nothing trumps health. Right. That's why I haven't left the house. That's why I haven't left the house, because I don't want to run into this.
Oh, I know what you mean. I just go to work and everything. You know where I work at, and I go home, and I go to the grocery store, but I can go grocery shopping where I work at. So then I just go home and I haven't even seen my own family because, my sisters have family and they're afraid that somebody's going to get sick. And I deal with the public a lot, but I'm always wearing a mask and I'm always wearing gloves. We're doing everything the right way and everything. The shields, the sanitizers, all that stuff, because we're doing this for everybody else. We sure as heck don't want anybody to get sick.
Right, right. And the one thing that worries me more than anything else is the fact, and not that I'm going to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm worried about the contamination of the meat from these plants where the people are sick, okay? I don't know how you stop that because, with the Tyson plants being pushed down, and there's meat plants and all of these other different things where the government has said for these plants to stay open. What I want to know is, and this is the $1 million question, is how are they making sure that the meat that is processed in these plants is not contaminated? I don't know, and that worries me.
I don't know. Maybe I should throw out this taco salad I just got, but I know it's one of those. It's the fear of the unknown. So I completely understand your fears are justified, but I guess the best thing to do is you just do the best you can, and because we can't have the United States shut down. We can't have this. I don't think we can have this go on for another 2 or 3 months. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but I was going to ask you. I really to me, change the subject. I want to ask you about what you think about that. But I'm really excited about this draft.
Oh yeah,
maniac we trust and.
Yeah, I tell you. And did you get a chance to see the post-draft show?
I try to watch as much as I could and everything. What happens, Captain? With the crazy hours that I work and everything, I come home, take a shower, get something to eat, and I try to listen to you and Homer and Murph and everybody. But I like that guy from Thibodeau. But I like all the picks. I think Mac really hit it out of the park. We went after heavy in the defense in the free agent market. I think, obviously, like I was telling a friend of mine, I said, they can have Tyreek Hill. We've got Ruggs. Ruggs is the Al Davis prototypical pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. In fact, and I seen the picture where they photoshopped Ruggs's number on the very old Cliff Branch photo taken in the Oakland Coliseum, I want to say 1972, 73, with the speed kills there, and they overshot where they had a car to Ruggs, instead of it being Stabler to Branch, and it shows Cliff's body, but they have Ruggs's number and there, so I love the way that they did it because again, Ruggs is going to be the new version of Cliff Branch. But I tell you this, and don't kill me for saying this, because again, rest in peace to the great Cliff Branch. But when Cliff Branch came out in his first couple of years with the Raiders, he dropped a lot of passes. He did. It took him a while for him to be molded into what we know and love today, okay? If you look, maybe his first year and a half, maybe even into his second year, I don't know the exact time, but he dropped a lot of passes. So he worked on his craft. He worked to be that person that can catch that pass and go, because he knew that as soon as he caught the pass, nobody was going to catch him. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, he was a track guy. What I like about one of the many things I like about Cliff is he's such a great person, just like Lester, but they're Houstonians, so I got him partial to the people that play for the silver and black. But I like the picks. I like the Bowden pick. I mean, and the guy from Kentucky. I like the South Carolina pick. I like the offensive line. But we seem to. Oh, I was going to tell you. You probably know this. Dale Courtney passed away. He was the person that was a music person that would be over there in the end zone. They would play those during the Howard Cosell days and everything at the old Coliseum. I know you've heard of that name before.
What? I'm sorry, I missed the name. Dale Courtney?
Dale Courtney. The Raiders had a band, from what I was told, I think from Raider Homer or somebody, maybe my friend Randy, who does the podcast, Raider Nation podcast, but they actually had a band, I believe, that would play at the Raider games back in the day and everything.
Yeah,
over the north end zone by the Speed Kills end zone.
Right, and I heard that the other day. I can't remember if it was Homer. I think it was on Homer's broadcast that they were talking about
It was.
him. You know, yeah, the guy, and he was like the person be down there in the front row and it was a live band. Oh, I know what it was. It was the Homer show. We were listening to, I think it was Raider Rob was talking about it.
Wow, you know, it's really great to hear Raider Mort. He's like you. He's an encyclopedia of Raiders lore. It's really amazing when you hear from different people that, you know, because there is what's so neat about the Raiders with Al. That's a history lesson in itself, because that all the things he did for the league. You've heard about the T3 podcast where he's going through chapter by chapter of the Raiders' history, right?
Yeah, actually, I saw the first one. I haven't seen anything since. If he's gone through, I'll have to go and catch him, because again, I enjoyed the first one. I'd like to see more.
Yeah, he's got a couple more of them out. I think he's got 3 or 4 of them from what I've been trying. You know how it is, you try to catch up when you can, when you're shaving or getting ready to go to work, or you're brushing your teeth or something. You just pop in your podcast for Homers or, you know, Burps or anybody. But I really think that we hit it out of the park. What amazes me is the New York Post rated the Raiders number 32. Dead last as far as their draft. I don't think they're anywhere near 32. What say you, Captain?
Well, I tell you what, the New York Post is a shitty rag that is apropos that it lines bird cages in the New York area. Okay. And again, not that I view it, not that I read it. I can give a rat's ass about what a New York publication says about the Las Vegas Raiders. And I almost said Oakland, but I made sure I was correct. A New York publication which knows shit about the Raiders. They don't know, and they have no quarter with me, man. I tell you, they don't know, and I can give a rat's ass what they said.
You know, I feel the same way about Mayock. I mean, I was going to say Florio, because Florio, I was going to say Mayock was on the Rich Eisen show, so I'm going to have to listen to that. But I think Mayock's like Ron Wolf. But, you know, Florio said, well, you know, we know this guy's got speed. But, you know, the Raiders have had so many players and everything that just haven't, you know, he might have the speed, but he might not be able to make the plays. That man will not give the Raiders a break. What is in his craw? He's so butthurt over hating the Raiders so bad.
Mike Florio.
I can't understand this clown.
Mike Florio and also Silver, the other writer, are anti-Raider.
Mike Silver?
Yeah, Mike Silver. Mike Florio, Mike Silver, they hate the Raiders. They're something that goes back a long time. You're not gonna get it out of them. They're haters. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And I agree, Angry, I'm definitely going to show that. Florio is an idiot. Actually, I think that in order to be an idiot, you have to have an IQ of whatever to rate an idiot. I don't think Florio is intelligent enough to be an idiot. I think he's whatever is below an idiot. And I'm sure whatever it is, you know, there are different degrees of stupidity. Florio is below an idiot, and I agree with that.
He doesn't even.
He'd have to be smarter.
He doesn't even try to be fair and balanced.
Yeah, he's not. He's not. Houseplant. Okay. I like that. Actually, I think houseplants have more brains than Mike Florio. But that's, you know, maybe. Maybe.
Hey, when you're worse than Warren Sapp, you know that means idiot deluxe.
There you go. Hey, Steve, always good hearing from you, brother. I tell you, it's great to have you on.
Oh, it's always great talking to you, Captain. Great help to you and all your listeners, and God bless, and I'll talk to you soon. And take care and stay safe, brother.
You too, brother. You stay safe well out there in Houston.
God bless. Take care. Bye.
All right. That's Houston Steve. And we've been on here for 2 hours, I believe. I'm going a little over, only because I know we had a little bit of a. I have the opening, the promo to make sure that we're here. Florio claims he is a lawyer. That's all I need to hear. Yeah, you know what the old expression of what do you call 50 lawyers in a bus that goes over a cliff, a good start. A good start. So having said that, that's my bad joke of the evening. We'll go over. I'll tell you what. If you want, if we have one more, I'll take one more call. And hopefully I'll put. I guess I gotta put the line up. Hang on here. Let me get the. We'll do the fade. Here we go. I'll do one more call if need be, and that's if somebody calls in. There are 5 Marines and 10 sailors. Yeah, Don. Now we're resorting to Air Force versus Navy humor. Funny. Good. It's funny. I tell you. It's one of those things where, and again, I appreciate. Hey, Lloyd, thanks again. Lloyd was in here talking. I appreciate it, brother. I'm seeing the comments now. Thank you for being here. If you are watching, I will take one more. If you want to call in. It was great. It was great hearing from everybody. Unfortunately, on Facebook, it freezes. So I don't know where I'm at. And again, it's one of those things where I get to the comments, and we have some people. So Barbara Bennett joined us. So Per Carlson is joining us from Sweden, if I remember correctly. Bobby Rhodes, Richard Crooks, Juan Padilla, Johnny Branson, good to see you as well, brother. Mike Fornerato, Fred Lujan, Mo Munoz, sorry. Oh, I got a follower on Twitch. I have never had it just said. I got a follower on Twitch. That is cool. Because I would look at my what do you call it, my views, and I had like one viewer on these shows. It was like, wow, I got a follower. Well, if you're my follower, and I didn't see the name, and I apologize, it went by there so quick, I didn't see who the follower was. And the Violator is subscribed to me on YouTube. Thank you there, Wayne. Thank you, sir. That's an honor. That is definitely an honor. Oh, okay, yeah, Derek Dercator something. I got a voicemail too. So, thank you for everybody. Again, if you have a chance, if you like what you see, good night to you, Andrea. Andrea's following us. Take care, sweetheart. Good hearing from you. I enjoy the shows. I enjoy hanging out with folks. I enjoy being here for everybody. So, having said that, without further ado, time to do the wow, I'm transitioning and I have no of course, as soon as I say that. 702, I'm going to take the call. How are you doing? I apologize. Who am I speaking to?
This is Logan.
Hey, Logan, you made it, brother. I was actually tuning out the show, so you will definitely be the last caller, brother. So how you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good to hear from you. So what's up?
Oh, well, just having a good day. We put up our portable pool, and so with the heat going on here in Vegas, spent most of the day outside, exercising and.
Okay, what is a portable pool?
Well, it's like it's a family-sized pool that you fill up with a ton of water, and then that has a filter, and it's just like it's about like 15 feet wide.
Okay.
All around.
No, that's big. I mean, to my idea of a portable pool is one of those things that you see little kids playing.
Oh yeah, no, it's much bigger than that.
It's a portable pool. I mean, I know
yeah,
that.
You know, I think this one.
Go ahead.
I think this one's much easier than a portable pool, because a portable pool, I mean, you got to sit there and dump, constantly dump it out and scrub it. It gets all slimy. This, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is skim the water.
Okay, well, no, good on you, man. I mean, I was not casting aspersions. I just wanted to hear what a portable pool is, because I have one of those. What do you call it? And I bought it the blow up beds, but the last one I bought is like a real nice queen size blow up bed. I mean, and one of the things where you hook it up to like the vacuum cleaner and it blows it up, and it's comfy. And I got one of those. Yeah, when I was up in Fort Bragg, and I was in the apartments in Fort Bragg, that's what my bed was for quite a while. Now I eventually did get a real bed, but those blow up beds are good to go. So when I had somebody come over there, I had a real bed for them. Granted, it was a blow up bed, but it was a nice, comfy bed. So yeah, so
right. What's great to do with that is you get like a memory foam top to put on top of it. Makes it real nice.
Yeah, we have something like that, but I mean it's not bad. I mean, if you're going to be on it for 1 or 2 nights, I mean, memory foam makes it nice, but I mean, really, whatever,
it's still good to go.
Right. I look at it this way.
I slipped on one.
Yeah, it'll be great for me, but again, if I in a hurricane, I have, let me see here. I got 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 bed. I got 3 real beds. I got 2 blow up beds. I got a big couch that you could probably sleep 2. So I'm good in a hurricane if I have to have family come over. And again, that's not even counting the new room. So I can probably sleep like 2 or 3 in here. So I got enough room for everybody. And I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I've never experienced anything like that, like a hurricane. I mean, I grew up in California, and I was, I went through quite a few real large earthquakes that just seemed to always happen at like 3 a.m.
Right.
Wake you up abruptly,
Well, it's one of those things where you definitely need to. What's the word I'm looking for? Don't experience a hurricane. I've been through a few, and they're not nice. They're not nice. I mean, and it's kind of like one of those things where you definitely don't want to see a you definitely don't want to see a what do you call it, an earthquake or a hurricane. I don't want to live through any of them. So it's one of those things for sure.
Right. Yeah, and that's one thing. Like here in Nevada, we don't really have to deal with anything other than the heat, and then we got strong winds and every once in a while flash flooding, but that's about it.
Yeah. So now you told me, and I want to get back to the Raiders. You told me that you were the source for these people that were apparently Carr was throwing passes around.
Yeah, he has a YouTube show that he does, and he just posts random things. Like today, he was showing his new gym inside his new home here in Las Vegas, and he was just going over everything that he does on his workout. And I didn't actually see it myself. He just stated that he was out there at the park today getting his throws in with a couple of the wide receivers, and then he also said that he took his Ranger out, or Rover or some out to explore the mountains with his boys on the dirt roads, all because we got we're surrounded with mountains out here.
Okay, well, which receivers?
Yeah, so you just look it up on YouTube.
Okay, Well, I mean, that's great. Now, again, I'm not going to go into the whether you're social distancing or anything like that. That's not me. That's not me.
I have been though. I'm high risk. I don't have a spleen, and I got family that is too, and I would hate to be the one to spread it to them. So no, I've been home for 6 weeks now.
Yeah, I'm high risk as well, which is why I'm going to be very reticent to, until I feel good about what's going on. You might not catch me at a game for a while. I mean, and if you do,
yeah,
I don't know if you guys have seen. In fact, I probably I don't know if I showed this the last time I was there. This entire bag is full of Raider masks, different types. I have like four different varieties of Raider masks right here. So I will be wearing them this year. Once I get into the what is it? Once I get into the stadium and I'm allowed to.
Right.
Then I'm gonna be wearing the mask, because again, I know that there are things about not wanting to
having covering your face, mask.
Yeah.
I heard that rumor too, and now naturally, that's the opposite. Like I'm sure they would welcome that now. Like anybody, if you're covering your face, great. That's better than nothing.
That's true. Well, hey, Logan, please keep me apprised of all that you know out there, because again, I enjoy you you and Don and AJ, and hopefully you guys will get together sometime soon, because I know you're all out in Vegas. I know Leslie's out in Vegas. I know that there is, and by the way, everybody say a prayer for my friend Leslie, who is out in Vegas. She has a family member that is in the hospital suffering from coronavirus. I know Cher is also out in Vegas, and Pamela's out. I know quite a lot of people out in Vegas. So
wow.
Yeah, so I can't wait to go out there.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I can't wait to get out to Vegas and see everybody and have a get together. But say prayers for all the people that are still suffering, and my best to all of them.
Well, yeah, I really appreciate that, and that's great of you to say, and I'll definitely say a prayer for Leslie here. And thanks to your show too, I've been getting to know Don Webb, chatting back and forth, just talking about Raiders in our lives, and so that's been really great. And maybe one of these days we'll actually meet up together.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
thank you. That was thanks to your show.
Oh no, yeah, like I said, I enjoy doing this, so we get the word out and take care of everybody.
Absolutely.
And again, everybody that is suffering a sickness, and I'm not gonna mention, because I do know others. Everybody that is suffering a sickness, whether it's coronavirus related or not, I keep in my thoughts and prayers so that for a positive response. Those people know who they are, and hopefully we'll have some good things. And Logan, thanks for calling in, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You got it. You take care.
Right. All right. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
All right.
Whoop. I apologize. I don't always do that. I try to hear for that response. I apologize for cutting you off, Logan. I'm not as bad as I used to be on that. But having said that, okay, wow, there's a double. I have a double at least. I will try to get rid of this while we speak. But I put a double image there. But such is life. Anyway, wait a second. I got it. There. I got rid of it. Thank you. Hopefully. So now, there we go. I only have the one screen. I had it on there twice. Apologies. I appreciate everybody for checking in tonight. It was great to see me that we had the violator and jumpers looking into a while. So my best to Wayne Mabry. My best says Roy Wheeler, who was calling in, talking about his Cowboy. For all the other folks that called in, love and respect, and thank you for being there. We'll have another show Sunday. It keeps me sane, for sure. It keeps me sane. So hopefully it's something good for you as well. Thanks again for everybody. It's always good hearing from everybody. It's a great time to be here. And thank you for sharing the night with me. If you haven't done so already, well, by the way, there was an announcement, and I didn't hear exactly what it was, but there was an announcement with the Silver and Black Alliance under Zoe. There was an announcement around an hour ago. I apologize. I should have mentioned it earlier. Be aware for that announcement. And also, I'm sure if you're not doing so already, head on over to the Raider Bear Show. We'll see you for that. Everybody else, take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. And we'll see everybody on Sunday. Jack. Yar! Great hearing from you, Raider Bear. Be well.